we're going to be in compose mode. Hoops vertical, switches at the bottom. We're accepting the default rainbow color, and we're going to make a Cheshire cat. It's just a name for a type of display, and you'll see as we go along. So front flip segments, rotate the wheel clockwise till we get alternating dark and lit LEDs. Go one more screen forward into the green to control the effects, what's actually happening with the LEDs. Rotate the wheel through fading until we get into strobe. So now those LEDs are strobing, and what we want to do is do a side flip. So the switch is over here. I'll flip and look for a light pink indication. There it is. So now we side flip. Now rotating the wheel will turn on the second virtual circuit, the remaining LEDs. And there we go. And they're steady. If we carry on turning the wheel, we can have them fade. And there's our hoop, alternating strobing and fading hoop. Let's change the color a little bit. It's kind of a rainbow right now. Let's go back to the red screen and rotate through some colors, because it'd be better to have, for this purposes of this hoop, a kind of gradient display. And we'll take this one. Could take any of them, but this is fine. And so now what we want to do is go and change the rate at which those LEDs are strobing. So go through the green to a blue, and this will affect the rate of change. As we turn Merlin's wheel, we will slow down the strobe. Now we'll put in an arc onto this hoop so that it'll go into the Cheshire cat kind of effect that we were talking about. We're front flip to a purple screen, and I'm going to tap the hoop as I turn it, because I'm looking to see when that arc appears. So it appeared there. So what I want to do now is look at that, see what we've got, and lock that hoop. So we had a blue signal showing me that that hoop is now locked. So what we can do now is turn the hoop, and notice, like as we do stuff, that arc appears and disappears with impact or movement. And one of the things you can do with this, for instance, is to improve your one-handed isolation. So if we're doing a two-handed isolation, we can pretty much do that without triggering any dark arc. We're just being pretty smooth. But with a one-handed isolation, there's usually a place where there's a little bit of a vary. So you can notice that, like when you clunk the hoop, you know, it'll go dark. And so the idea is, can you work on smoothing out the that one-handed isolation place. You can tell that today I cannot do that very well. So, but that's something to work on, like could be if you want. Or you can just use this like in time with the music, say. You can have this disappearing Cheshire cat smile that comes with a beat, or perhaps you can hoop with it and then give it accents when it goes off or on, or find ways to use that kind of disappearing arc. So that was our Cheshire cat. In compose mode, we'll accept the default starting hoop. We're going to make a simple fading hoop, and you just front flip to the LED effects green screen. We want to just do a slight turn of the wheel to get to a fade. If we carried on, we'd get to a strobe in a sequence. So now we have our fading hoop, and you can just accept that. You could keep that hoop, and there it is, locked. and now you could do whatever you want with it, and it's just going to fade slowly like that. If we want to continue and change some of the values of that hoop, leave the switch there at 3. It went white, so it's unlocked again. Flip forward to a blue screen, and now we can control the rate of the fade. So as we do this, just watch the rate of fade changing. It's there, it's pulsing pretty fast. If we went on a little bit, it gets really slow, like a lava lamp, and so you could actually do a performance with the hoop very, very, very slowly changing color, almost unnoticeably, depending on the color scheme that you had. So here's this particular hoop. We like this speed of fade, perhaps. We will flip back to the red screen. There it is. We will now use the color wheel. Maybe we'll go anti-clockwise from my perspective, because we get to more useful color schemes straight away like that. And let's say we want this particular kind of pastel pink color scheme fading. If we don't like the rate of change, we'll flip back to the blue screen, and we can do all this as we're dancing. You know, we don't have to be so rigid about it, but I'm in front of a camera and I'm the only one here, so I don't want to get out of the shot. But you know, you don't have to sit or stand. You can be playing as you're doing all these things. This is a very slow rate of fade, and so this is kind of thing that could be really mellow. You might like, oh wow, I want this, and actually I want this hoop in my saved quiver. So, you know, left hand, isoflip, half back, select one of the quivers, first 3, second 3, third 3 quivers, slots in those quivers, save the hoop to it. And there, I saved it to the first. So that hoop, if we go to the saved quiver, is now there for us. If we want to continue in compose mode, we can do that. Lock the hoop by leaving the switch there at 3 o'clock, and now we can play with it in any which way, and it won't change. But even without locking it, there's a white signal, so it's now unlocked, so we can tell it's unlocked by changing screens. But even without locking it, you should be able to do, you know, regular hooping, never really changing the display unless you do an isolation or a flip. And of course, if you do an isolation or a flip and that's not what you meant to do, just reverse the isolation or reverse the flip and you'll be back again. And at any time we could then, let's say, yeah, we like this hoop, but we want to give it some segments, you know, so there we go. Do the wheel and continue turning the wheel, and you can, there again, you can make this, you know, much more hoopy. You don't have to be all formal and static about it. And your varying segments, and you know, when you get one that you like, there again you can just play with the hoop and it should stay in that particular characteristic until you flip or do an isolation. And there again, there's our slowly fading hoop in compose mode.